Kind family, welcome back. And if you're new here, please like and comment on the video. It really helps us. And please subscribe. You're going to love it here. I love you already. We are going to be besties. My name is Sierra. Welcome. So, all right, did you know that a butterfly tastes with its feet? I did not know that. That is so cool. And their wings are transparent. Oh my God. All right, so we're doing this butterfly themed set, and we're going to start out with the French because I'm going to have to file this into shape and I need it to be dried when I go to file it. So I want a deep French smile line. I love deep French smile lines. So I'm going to apply the bead sideways, and then I'm going to drag it up towards the cuticle area where I want it to meet my side walls. And I'm just going to slowly pat it out as I drag it up and just perfect it. But what do you think? Do you guys like the original 80s style line, French style line, or do you guys like the deep French? I love a good deep French, especially on a long set of nails. Like, it just adds to the aesthetic of having a long set. I feel like when people do long sets and then they use the original 80s blunt smile line, it just makes the nail kind of look obtuse or fat, I guess. You know what I mean? Like how they say don't wear stripes horizontally or you'll look heavier if you wear the stripes vertical. It'll make you look skinnier. I feel like that's the same with a French on a long nail. The longer the nail, the longer the deep French should be, I feel like. It'll just make the nail look skinnier and prettier. Alright, wait though. Did you know that a butterfly's wings are actually built out of these tiny little scales that are made of the same protein that creates the exoskeleton for insects? Yeah, the wings, those soft, fuzzy looking wings are actually made of tiny exoskeleton scales that reflect the light and make it look colorful, but they're really transparent. The wings themselves, the membrane is transparent. So here we're going to go in and we are going to be using Ursula from our Villains collection, and this acrylic will upgrade any set that you have. I swear to God, I love this collection. And then we're going to go in with Purple Nurple, and that is from our She's Electric collection. It's a really vibrant and neon, like really vibrant collection. I'm going to be doing like this little triple ombre. It's going to be the Purple Nurple, then Ursula, and then our one in the pink from the True Nudes collection. So it's just going to be a little, a triple ombre. So I just started at the end. I always kind of build my nails in reverse. I like that when I first started, I tried to start at the cuticle area and bring the beads down. And somehow I got out of control with thickness. I got out of control with the shape. And I just couldn't judge how thick they were when I covered my nail bed first. So starting at the end, and you're going to see me build out a full nude nail on my middle finger, and you're going to see how I do that. But if I start at least, if I'm going to be doing a full nail and I start at least at the free edge of my natural nail and drag the bead down to the tip of the nail tip, if I start there, then I can kind of see how thick the nail is comparing it to my nail bed, if that makes sense. I can still see my nail bed, so I can see how thick that free edge is. And then when I do my nail bed, I do the apex first like I'm doing here. I'm not doing the cuticle area right away. I do the apex, and I make sure that that is thick enough before I add my cuticle bead. So that's all I'm doing. And as the ombre, like any tips for an ombre, just work in tiny little beads. So I go and I make sure that this nude is dragging down over the Ursula glitter acrylic, and I realized that I just wanted to see more Ursula than I wanted to see nude. So I kind of go in with a tiny bead of Ursula and start to actually drag that around that center ombre and make it look a little bit more glittery. I kind of don't like when you cover your glitter with your nude. It's not, it never really makes me feel all that happy. So yeah, I do end up going in and kind of dragging around a little bit of that Ursula in the center. But do you see here how I start out at the free edge and drag my bead to the tip of the nail? It helps me kind of gauge how much I need to keep adding to that free edge before I need to stop. I can still see my natural nail bed, and I can tell how thick the nail is. But if I start at the cuticle area and I cover my nail bed right away, I just tend to get lost in the sauce. And I really do use too much acrylic. So that's why I do this method. But if you do it and you find a better method for yourself, make sure that you do what works for you. Not everybody does nails the same way, and lots of people who do them differently do great nails. So find out what works for you and stick to that, because I have definitely stuck to my own routine and I'm very happy with my nails anymore. I don't know why I go in with such big cuticle beads in this video. I usually don't. But thank God that our acrylic is a slower setting acrylic, and it gives me time to blend and make things look well, because this nail got built really quick using such big beads. My fingers are huge. I have basketball hands. I have man hands. Like my hands, like I can use one hand just to pick up a basketball and it kind of covers the entire half of the basketball. That's how long my fingers are. Not saying my hands are fat or anything else like that. I'm just saying like I really do have some long fingers and toes. But okay, wait. Did you know that there are colors in this world that we cannot see as human beings? There are colors all around us that we cannot perceive because they are in an ultraviolet ray, kind of, what would you say? They're in ultraviolet rays, but they are all around us. And even though we cannot see them, butterflies can. Butterflies can see on a spectrum way larger than us. And they can see so many colors that we can't, but they are nearsighted. So they can't see as far as humans can, but they can see more than humans can. So could you imagine being a butterfly? Like, I feel like if we really was down onto a scale of a butterfly, getting to see it like say you bring a butterfly up to scale to be as big as a human. Like they would have to look kind of like a fairy almost, like with scaly wings. Like it says that they have scales for their wings. The colors that we see are tiny scales of exoskeleton that reflect colors. So could you imagine like being a butterfly and getting to have like these scaly wings and getting to like perceive all these different colors? That would be so trippy. I think if I wanted to ever be reincarnated, I would want to be reincarnated as like a butterfly. I really think I would. I guess they eat like all liquid diet. I don't know why we see them on flowers. That doesn't really make sense to me, why they're always like hopping around flower to flower. Like I thought nectar is more of like a pollen and not like a juice. But butterflies and puddles, I know that makes sense because puddles have minerals in them and butterflies like all liquid diets, so they like puddles. That makes sense to me. I would love to get to be a butterfly and just get to play in puddles. Like that would be so fun. I think butterflies are really interesting, especially after doing this video and wanting to kind of find some facts to talk about them in this. Like I didn't think butterflies would seriously be so interesting, but they definitely are. So here we're going in with Ursula, and I use too much, obviously, because that is the theme of this video, me doing way too big of beads. Yeah, I did way too big of a bead of Ursula. I could have used the tiniest little bead and spread that out in the cuticle area and then did this little cuticle cuff. But that's what this is called. When you do a glitter cuff around the cuticle and then kind of do a flat color on the rest of the nail. And I really love this look. I've done it on my thumb a lot of times. I need to really do this. I need to incorporate this into like a whole set. Wouldn't it be cool if I used the entire Villains collection and just did like a color on every finger? Like that would be so cute, like kind of rainbow style, but obviously not rainbow because the colors in the Villains collection is more of a deep color than a vibrant color. But I think that's like a really good idea. I think I'm going to do that in a set. I'm going to incorporate that. Just do a cuticle cuff on every finger in a different color from Villains. Like that would just be too cute. So we're finishing up this set here. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to make sure that I file my French into shape. And then I am going to go ahead and add the glitter around the French. And you guys are going to watch me do that, but I'm going to come back to you in the nail art part of the video. So just enjoy a little bit of application and I will be back. All right, so here you guys get to see a gem of a fudge up. I do peel off nails and I was, yeah. So all I do is I put baby oil on my natural nail and then seal that in with a top coat. And then I attach my nails as normal. I have a top coat that I use specifically for this. It's just an old top coat. Don't use a good top coat, a top gel. Use an old one. But I go ahead and I'm using shiny, an old shiny top coat. If you use matte, you won't have to do anything besides just cure and apply your nails however you want, any which way. You can do full cover tips. You can do glue on tip and acrylic, or glue on tip and polygel. Do whatever makes you happy. But here, since I just had one fall off, I just did the baby oil and put a shiny top gel on and then just super glued it back on. That's all I did. I had a couple kind of pop off during this because I had to go to a funeral and I did not get the set finished in one night. I ended up doing it in two nights, and because I did the pop-off method, I went to this funeral with only 3 of the nails on. Like, one broke off on the way to the funeral, and then one broke off at the funeral, so they were just sitting in my cup holder in my car. And then I had one break off in the middle of the night before the funeral. So yeah, it was crazy. So since I already filed the nails into shape and I'm going to be doing nail art and everything else, I'm going in and just covering the nails in a nice thick base coat. Doing a base coat is really nice because it kind of fills in any divots or scratches that you may have. And if you just want to top coat after that, that's great. If you want to do nail art, then go ahead and do your nail art. Just clean off the inhibition layer and then go in and do your nail art. That's what I did. So here we're going in with our poison putty, and I'm going to be building out the 3D butterfly using this. This is a PVC resin. And that means that it's a polyvinyl resin. Even though you cure it with a UV light, it is not the same type of resin as a gel that you would, like polygel or just a top gel or base gel. It is not the same. It is not made of the same chemicals. It is not made the same way. It is just a polyvinyl resin, and what that means is it is a different type of powder. Like polygel is acrylic and a liquid, kind of. It's acrylic and polygel are technically the same thing, just applied different ways. PVC vinyl is an entirely different ballgame, and that is why you can touch it with your fingers, if I understand right. Now, do not quote me on that. I do know that this poison putty here that we have is a PVC vinyl, and it is cured through UV light, but it is safe to the touch. So you do not have to worry about all the harsh chemicals that are in polygel and other gels like that. This is safer to the touch than those. Don't quote me though, okay? This is just what I spoke to the factory about. I knew people had questions and I just wanted to speak to them. But this is what their explanation was to me. Do I know this for a fact? They could be lying to me. Totally, 100%. So just use your own, I don't know. Just, use your own brain. See what you think when you touch it, how you feel about it. I don't feel like it has any stickiness that gets left on my skin that can be absorbed. It's very firm and it's very easy to play with, and it definitely just smells like plastic. It doesn't have that smell like regular gels do. It literally just smells like a plastic or a vinyl. So yeah, I don't worry about touching this because they did explain to me that the chemical makeup is not the same as normal gels and that it is safe to the touch, and I kind of trust them. But you have to use your own, your own brains and decide what you think. So I went in and I just rolled out a skinny little line for the body and painted that. I cured it and then painted it and cured that, right? Rolled it out, put it on my nail, cured it, painted it black, cured it. I did 4 little balls, and I apply all 4 little balls, and I kind of look at a picture of a butterfly and how the wings are shaped, and I try to shape it out the best of my ability to make it look like a real butterfly. When you're doing art, make sure that you look at a picture of the realest image that you could find, because you're going to get the most details in that image, and you'll be able to kind of do a recreation of that image yourself to the best of your abilities, knowing all the details that you can see. So it's always good, even though you think you know what a butterfly looks like, try to look at an image, and I promise you, you will always see new views of things and get to, Well, when I did the poison putty, if you look at it, it's like shimmering pink. When I pulled out my balls of poison putty, I ended up mixing them in with a shimmer pigment. So you can buy these on Amazon, and they are just shimmer pigments. They're pearl pigments. And I mixed mine in with this one that shimmers pink and blue. And it looks so cute in real life. Like, it literally shined in the sunlight like crazy. It was just reflecting pink and blue like crazy, like a little gem in there. once I top coated it, it seriously looked like a real gem. It was so neat. So I go in after I cure the wings in the shape that I liked. I went in and outlined the entire body in black, and I did it in a pretty thick outline because I'm going to be adding tiny little white dots to the outline of the wings. And then I go in and I do these fine little lines inside the wings just to make the wings look real. You guys know how butterflies' wings have those fine lines inside of them? That's what I did. And I go in and I made sure that I added the antenna. And at the tip of the bottom wings, I added this black little dot and dragged it up to make the wings look like they kind of come out. And I saw that in the picture also. And I just added the little white dots to make it look more realistic. And once I top coated it, I seriously fell in love with it. I wasn't that happy with it until I top coated it, but I seriously was obsessed. Now, I've seen this design a couple different places. I haven't seen it done like this. I've just seen it drawn on nude nails or done different ways. But I really thought when I saw this all glitter pinky that it was like the perfect layout for this design. So this is like a butterfly wing nail. And I already top coated the pinky. The pinky is already top coated. I'm going in with a black gel paint and I outlined the entire nail. And then I go in and I do those fine line wing designs inside the nail. And I go ahead and to make that raised up just the tiniest bit, before I cure that black gel, I'm going in with a black acrylic. You could do it with clear, but I don't suggest it on top of black because clear can kind of leave a gray cast if you do it on top of a black gel. So I'm just doing black acrylic on top of the black gel so that I don't get no gray cast. I want it to really look black, and it definitely did. So the pinky was already top coated. I go in with the black gel to outline and sprinkle in the acrylic. Once I see that the acrylic is absorbing into that gel and nothing looks shiny anymore, I go ahead and cure and then dust off the excess acrylic. And I'm going to go in with those white dots again. I did clean up with some alcohol just to make sure that there was no dust left in there. And then I'm going in with the little white dots that you see on the butterfly's body, and I'm just adding them wherever I feel like it makes sense. In the widest areas of black that I had, I felt like it made the most sense. And I'm doing some big dots, and then from one big dot, I'm dragging out, and kind of the dots are getting tinier as they get further away from that one big dot so that the dots aren't all just one size. I want them to look a little bit more realistic. And then I'm going ahead and in the white gel polish, sprinkling clear acrylic and then curing. So yeah, it looked so cool. You're going to see in the video how neat it looks. And you can see all that extra little detail. I know it takes a lot of time to add details like that, but it really does make the biggest difference. So around my French smile line, I decided to bling it out, but I didn't know what to do with the middle finger. So I decided to actually just kind of make a little bling French that matched the French ring finger. I decided to do a bling French on the middle finger also, which ended up being really cute. I was thinking about doing two of them, like do one bling French on the middle finger and then do another one a little bit further down the nail from it, and see if that looked cool, but I didn't want it to make my middle finger look fat. I'm always worried about making my nails look bigger than what they are because my hands are big and my nail beds are big, and it kind of makes nails be big no matter what you do. But I've learned how to shape my own nails to make them look as thin as possible and look as pretty as possible. And I always get scared about adding stuff onto my middle finger because I'm always scared it's going to make it look fat. So I didn't do that second little French ring, but yeah, you're going to see. In the end, I love this set. I am so happy with it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a couple things about butterflies or nails, either one. If you did, let me know down in the comments. We're just going in with our bling gel and outlining the French the way that you would any other French, and then going in with our bling All right, I'm going to let you guys check out the rest of the video. I'm going to leave you alone. Check out criminalclaws.com. We got lots of great products. You guys will love them. I hope you love this. I will see you next time. Bye.